Yes, sir.
Very more expensive than last year for Lugwago.
Must be, first of all, is soft too. It's making arrangements to ensure that the body.
Mr. Chrysostom Katumba. Mr. Lawrence Kawiye. Mr. Abubakar Sekan Jacopo. Mr. Apollo Kwesiga. Ms. Proskovia Kunigira. Mr. Isaac Kwagala. Mr. Ronald Shabe. Honorable Joseph. And finally, FWF. We appear for the accused person. Your Honor, we noticed that this is the first time handling this matter. But before I see our client is trying to raise some matter and apparently touching his health, may I pray that you listen to him first. Submission for today. Probably would want to hear from the state, maybe they want to withdraw.
Your Honor, we are ready to make our submission. After.
Unfortunately, they do not have jurisdiction in this matter. The Chief Magistrate who is in charge is indisposed. And as a grade one, I don't have the jurisdiction to hear this case.
Worship, I have practiced. But moments come when you are overcome. I'm sure if someone came and said that the lawyer is indisposed, you would demand to know the particulars, especially when it comes to a matter of this nature. When I noticed and submitted that my client seems to have something to communicate to court touching his health, I thought you would entertain that and hear it. The jurisdiction in law relates to trying a matter. In my humble submission, nothing limits your power to hear. I am sure that you would be interested in knowing why the accused person has not appeared. Conventionally, the file before you has a record of poor health, and court would be interested in knowing the state of health of the person that was sent to hospital. Probably that's what you wanted to address court. I would still employ Your Honor. I would, yes, this person was referred to hospital by this honorable court. He's not in court, and I must say that even the presentation on Zoom was a clandestine move. We were not informed. We kept waiting for him down to listen to him and probably receive any additional instructions. Only to be informed that court is sitting and prosecution is already seated. Probably you would need to know the accused's state of health before you exercise the jurisdiction to adjourn. I would still employ you.
Yes, Honorable.
His Lordship.
Please address court on the health concerns that your counsel just informed court.
Thank you, Your Lordship. I'm in possession of the medical report from Lugwago Hospital here, made by senior consultants, 5 senior consultants. These consultants include the senior consultant of orthopedics and spine surgeon.
The senior consultant, I beg your pardon, senior consultant of
Orthopedic and spine surgeon, Dr. Robert Lukwago. I have senior consultant physician and cardiologist, Michael Muhammad. I have a neurologist, senior consultant physician, Stephen Mato. I have also, there's also a consultant neurosurgeon, and associate consultant orthopedic and spine surgeon, Dr. Edward Chihonde. These are senior medical consultants who were tasked by the executive director of Lugwago Hospital, Dr. Rosemary Yanima, to examine my state of health. I spent a whole week in Morocco undergoing specialized investigation and some interventions that could be made within the capacity of the Lugwago Hospital. Your Worship is a detailed report which is on record of report, because I can see report received it on 1st July, service to the Chief Magistrate. It's dated 30th June 2026. There is a forwarding letter written by Dr. Bianima K. Rosemel, the Executive Director. Your Worship, after thorough examination, they established I suffer 5 chronic therapy challenges. 5 chronic therapy challenges, which are very, very serious. And as we speak, today my life is in danger if they are not attended to. I have a problem with the living. They mentioned it here. I have the lung complex with what they call residual mild cylindrical bronchitis. Which is a permanent damage on my lungs. And once I'm in the place with limited oxygen, I suffer breathlessness, and that's why here I was gasping for air, because the windows had been closed and I was not breathing well. And they recommended that I should always be in a well-ventilated environment, because of that pulmonary challenge. It's called current pulmonary functional tests, which they conducted, indicated that I need that kind of environment. I know the second one is that I have a residue cervical ridiculitis following a cervical 6-7 disc replacement surgery and the adjacent level C5-6 disc disease. That is the cervical problem. I am endured ever since I underwent a surgical operation on 29th of April 2024, which I have been nursing for. And these senior consultants have strongly recommended, and I want to read the verbatim. They recommended annual review by his primary spine surgeons in India to re-evaluate him for the persistent upper limbs claviculitis. It's a medical term. That they were unable to repeat the MRI investigation investigations because they were not certain of the compatibility of the implants, the artificial discs that were used for his primary spine surgery. When they conducted an anterior cervical dissection with disc replacement at C6 here, the nerve root and the spinal cord, there was an implant, an artificial disc, which was inserted here. When I went to Malawi, after conducting the investigation, they did a CT scan, they discovered there were attendant issues which had complicated the situation and required further examination and urgent attention by the neurologists and neurosurgeons who conducted the surgery in India, and that is immediate. It's urgent on some kind of therapeutic treatment. They gave me Lugwago, at least to contain the excruciating pain I am undergoing. I am facing. That excruciating pain is being mitigated by the use of some medication, part of which is recovered, and for some scrub like and others. That is the second one. The third one, Your Worship. Yes.
I say that is not it.
I'm saying that one requires immediate evacuation in India, and I should be in India by now. I need to be in India now. If my life is to be saved, where is something condemned to death? And there is a limit, Your Worship, for using of this neurotherapeutic whatever. Medical medicines like the government are interchanging with government. Your Worship, they was also diagnosed with persistent anomasia and tinnitus, as well as Meniere's disease and olfactory dysfunction. Your Worship, the ENT recommended that they made a finding, if you could listen to this, Lukwago's ENT conditions are irreversible and it should be maintained on his current medication. That this condition I am suffering, complicating my hearing system, my station tube, is irreversible. The only medication that I have, my Your Worship, is a twofold. One, I can keep using sedatives to be able to sleep. Initially, I was using clonazepam. In Malawi, they had given me clonazepam. Here in New Zealand, they had given me diazepam. But prior to coming here, I was using clonazepam. So imagine from clonazepam, diazepam, now to clonazepam. And the doctors will tell you they are very, very addictive and dangerous to one's life. They can't be used sustainably or permanently. So prior to my being arrested and incarcerated here, that the doctors have recommended that I use the tinnitus pillow. And that tinnitus pillow, Your Worship, helps to mitigate those sensations in the ear like muffled sounds and all that, which complicates the hearing system, the whole system, including the gestation tube dysfunction. That tinnitus code, if you which kind of pillow I needed, gadget I needed. So after the measurements, they send those specifications to UK to non-erosive GERD, GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, and erophagia, which causes belching and mild hiatus hernia. Your Worship, if I may explain to you, hiatus hernia is some complication in the gut here, around the sphincter muscles here, the diaphragm here. You get the stomach bulging towards the gut, so that whatever contents you have in the stomach, which are highly acidic, they spill over back to the gut, causing what they call acid reflux, regurgitation, and in the end, they may cause lower esophageal cancer. Is what they call lower esophageal sphincter. It is now that lower esophageal sphincter is now flabby. So I have to lie almost, if I'm to sleep, the head, I'm not supposed to sleep flat. I am supposed to lean upwards like this, to just keep the contents down, so that there's no overflow of acid and food from the stomach back to the gut. It is so scorching and is likely to cause cancer of the esophagus if not attended to. So this hiatus hernia requires surgical operation. Then you have to operate it and remove that part which is protruding, that part of the stomach that is protruding into the gut, so that you can have the food contents contained within the stomach. And this is a very serious problem, Your Worship. For now, they recommended specialized diet, which can help me manage, but I can't afford it here. I cannot have it here. You know the conditions under which I'm contained, unless I am admitted, I'm given that special diet. It's not possible. So what I'm now doing is to constantly use what they call PPIs, proton pump inhibitors, to contain the production of acid, and also all sorts of types of antacids, like suspensions, like syrups and chewables, and all those sorts of antacids, so that I can keep controlling the acid reflux and acid production. But that is a temporary measure. Even that is a temporary measure that is posing a serious danger of having gut cancer. So finally, the final one, Your Worship, they made a finding that, and this is actually not a finding, but we should continue his current treatment for hypertension. Without doubt, there were known cases of hypertension for the last 10 years. Have been on medication. And this problem gets worse with all these complications. They cocktail these health challenges. In the end, they complicate the issue of hypertension. So now it may be now relatively contagious because of the suppressive mechanisms we are using to deal with these other complications. And the cardiologists have also advised, if I continue with this repeat posture to contain the issue of GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, or gastritis, then it affects blood saturation. I will have again to raise my legs up so that as I sleep, so that blood flows, to ease blood saturation. Now you can imagine, I have that, all these problems with the gastroenterologists who are part of this team. I advise you need to have this particular sleeping posture with the head leaning up. The neurosurgeons advise me to sleep on an orthopedic mattress which is hard and lie a little flat, not raising myself. Cardiologists, Mr. Mokoma and others advise me to raise the legs up. Then meanwhile, the pulmonologist, that is Professor Rodley and the team, they advise me to keep in a well-ventilated place. Yet you know the conditions of the prisons. The prisons are not well ventilated. So in a nutshell, Your Worship, I am sentenced to death. I am condemned to death. If no rescue is made to get my situation addressed, as advised by the consultants from Lugwago, it's a death sentence for me. And all I can say to Allah, if you don't take me, my Lord, the God who created me, kindly take me without a lot of pain. If I may make a last prayer, Your Worship, instead of taking me through all this pain, I've been put on some palliative care so that I die the less painful death. Otherwise, the pain is too much. I know I will die. I know all of us will die, but I wouldn't want to die the painful death. I beg you.
And therefore, in light of the fact that the sitting magistrate has no jurisdiction in the matter, and that the inquiry is still ongoing, we seek a further adjournment from short.
Comment on this, the prayer for adjournment concerns of the accused person. Which address apparently may only be ordered from what you said.
Are you able to hear us? Yes, I have been informed that the next available date is 16th of July, 2026. The accused counsel are advised to seek audience with the Chief Magistrate in regards to the concerns raised today, since I don't have jurisdiction to make orders in this matter.
Time? What? Anyway, the matter has been adjourned to 16th of July, as you heard for yourself. He be handled by his primary spine surgeon in Fortis, India. The second is that he needs Wikidde ku mutimbagano kye bataatubuulidde kooti yokka ye yategedde n'abooludda oluwaabi. Ekyokubiri batuwadde okukomawo wano ng'ennaku z'omwezi 16 omwezi gw'omusanvu olwaleero ennaku z'omwezi 7. So nga batugamba nti agumire ennaku ye okumala ennaku 9 eziddako nalwo lujja kutuuka oba mulamu oba si mulamu. Ekyo kimu. Ekyokubiri obulwadde alipoota kuva Mulago yakakasizza byonna bye tubadde tujja tubagamba, ebyuma ebiri mu mugongo ne mu lukizi, ate kati yafunye n'enkizi endala 2 ezeetaaga okussaamu ebyuma. Ab'e Mulago babadde tebasobola mussa mu kyuma kyabwe ekya MRI kubanga tebeekakasa obanga kikwatagana ne sayansi w'ebyuma ebiri mu mubiri. Okussa kwe kubi, baagala abeere mu kifo ekirina empewo obulungi, kukomera tekiriiyo. Era kyovudde olaba nga akugamba nti akkiriza okufa, naye yandyagadde bamuwe eddagala afe bulungi aleke kufa mu bulumi. Kiri painful naye tujja kukiyitamu kubanga bwe luba lutalo nga terunaggwa tosuula ngabo, kubanga wosuulira engabo erukoma. Twandibadde tusobola okuwummula ne tuluwummuza singa munnaffe abadde bweru, naye ng'ali munda tetujja kuwummula. Famire n'abalala tubasabira. Omulamuzi abadde tasobola nakuwa biragiro ku piro omusajja bano gye baayuzaayoza ne bagisokoolamu ebyuma bye batasobola kuzzaawo kati, naye ng'ate eri medical recommended. Bagitumya Bungereza nga ne bino tebinnabaawo. Omuntu ayinza okugamba bagitumizza kati kusobola kuketta biri mu makomera. Ab'amakomera tulowooza nti bandibadde basoboka kwebuuza naddala ng'otandikira ku ye nga tonnaba kuyuza piro ya musajja yeemuwa ku tulo kati teyeebakira ddala. Owulidde kyamukisa mu biti omuntu alina obulwadde obufaanana bwe butyo ate teyeebaka. Mu buteebaka oyongera okulinnyisa obulwadde bwe. Alina operations 3 ezirindiridde. Operation y'okutereeza ebyuma bino bye bakyamya nga bamukozesa dduyiro obulumi bungi. Operation y'okumussaamu ebyuma ebirala wansi mu lamba joints, n'operation eya wano hiatus hernia gwe balina okulongoosa bwalwawo afuuka cancer of the esophagus. Tegamba kama abakunda
Kanso.
Era ebadde mu kkooti ebadde yakinyika ggobe ddala olw'ensonga nti omukulu Honorable Lukwago afunye omukisa ogwogeddeko no kkooti n'omulamuzi nga ffenna bwe tulabye, naye mu kunnyonnyola awulikise nga munafu nnyo era awadde ebiraliikiriza bingi. Annyonnyodde bipooti y'abasawo b'e Mulago biki bye baazuula. Bwe bamuweereza e Mulago baateekawo ttiimu y'abasawo 5 abakugu ennyo ennyo mu Uganda wano, era be bamwekenneenyezza ne bakebera ne bagamba nti mu bufunzo bw'ekitalo nti Lukwago embeera mwali tasaana kubeera mukomera, asaana kubeera buyindi ng'afuna eddagala, kuba nabo wiiki ennamba gye baamaze naye tebalina kye basobodde kujjanjaba. Basobodde kumuwa painkillers, basobodde kumwekenneenya era ne balaba ng'obulwadde bwe tebabusobola, ne bagamba ono tetusobola kumujjanjabira mu Uganda. Mulago ye National Referral Hospital ly'eddwaliro erisembayo ku ntikko bwe liba nga livuddeko abasawo 5 abakugu ne bagamba nti ono tasobola kujjanjabirwa wano, ajjanjabirwe Bulaaya, India, Fortis, kuba gye yali ajjanjabiddwako obulwadde bwe gye babujjanjabirwa, then tewaliwo omuntu mulala mu Uganda asobola kumujjanjaba. So abadde yeegayirira mulamuzi nti ayambibwe aweerezebwe buyindi ng'obudde bukyali ng'embeera tennasamba ddagala, kugamba ng'embeera tennava mu nteeko kusukkako bweri kati, kuba yabunkenke naye kabi tekannaba kutuuka, naye nga ye engeri gy'abadde annyonnyolamu omulamuzi abadde amunnyonnyola nti alina wano kitwandiyise mu Luganda kakiyite kikeeto naye bakiyita gastritis, y'embeera ya acidi okubanga mungi nnyo okufuukuka mu lubuto nadda ate n'waggulu mu bulago. Aba awulira omuliro mu bulago wano ne bagamba nti amawuggwe ge agamu gaakakanyala kati aba tasobola kussa bulungi, era tubadde tumulaba kuba alabikidde ku mukutu gwa Zoom abadde alwanagana n'okussanga bwawanika n'omukono agamba bali wabadde bamugamba bagamba naye mugole lumufa kati kwegamba embeera mwali amagumba g'oku mugongo gano eno ze bayita discs zasisetuka kati nakyabadde akinyonyola omulamuzi nti discs zasisetuka ezimuleetedde okubeera ng'ali mu mbeera eyeraliikiriza ennyo n'ab'emulago bakikakasiza nti discs zasisetuka n'endala zalwadde nga mu buli embeera eyo bwetanogerwa mangu ddagala bwatatwalirwa mangu ddagala kujjanjabibwa twolekedde akabaate ate nekenyininyini akyogedde abadde nga alaamu obulaami era alaami kyeka n'alyami agigayiridde kooti n'agigayiridde nti bannange munyambe ndi ku madagala gundi ne gundi ndi ku ddagala gundi ne gundi naye ndaba nga njolekedde akaseera k'okufa kwange kyayogedde agambye nti njolekedde akaseera k'okufa kwange naye ndi mu kuyita mu mbeera eyo obulumi neegayirira omulamuzi nti amuteerewo embeera afe nga talumiziddwa nnyo kuba yalabye nga kyalimu ntaana n'agamba njolekedde entaana yange giraba esembedde naye omulamuzi teekawo buli mbeera esoboka ndabe nga ofa nga siwulira bulumi buno bwempulira kyabadde yeegayirira omulamuzi nti ntaasa kuba kati essaawa gye ntuuseeko yakufa naye mpulira nkyali mu bulumi nyamba oteekewo embeera esoboka yonna ffe ng'obulumi sibuwulira nnyo yannyonnyodde agambye nti n'abasawo bennyininyini wano mu kumujjanjaba owagundi waneno esophagus waneno ajjanjaba gastritis kiri ekikeeto kyegambye ekyamaanyi ennyo ow'ekikeeto agamba nti bw'oba weebake nga olinga atudde so that gas tava nnyo gundi acid tava nnyo mu lubuto kudda kakati ate ow'omugongo n'ow'amagumba gano ag'oku mugongo wansinsi ne waneno mbulago amugamba bw'oba weebaka amagulu gasitulemukko kakati kwegamba ali mu mbeera nti ono amugamba nti amagulu gateeke waggulu omulala amugamba nti weebake ng'otudde ekisegedde kakati ate ne piro gye baali bamuweereza kale eyinza okuyambako okumuteeka mu position entuufu abasawo gye bandibikomendiza bwe twagitwalayo ku prisons aba prisons bagisokoola buli kyuma ekirimu na buli medical ngite prescription erimu eyandiyambyeko okumujjanjaba babijjamu ne bagidismantolinga kyasigala kifalisofaliso kwegamba piro ey'eddagala bagijjamu buli kintu kyonna kyonna kyewandigambye nti no kijjanjaba ne bakireka nga kiwulenge ne bamukwasa nti kikyo kipiro kyo kati kwegamba agambye nti nsobeddwa kubona omusawo aŋŋamba amagulu nga wanike omulala aŋŋambe nti nebake nga ntudde piro yange bagisokodde kati ndi mbulumi obutagambika nebakawo essaawa emu otulo ne tugaana nempulira nga ekikeeto kizze nempulira nga omugongo gunuma nawulira nga omukono gumuluma ayina pressure ate yo pressure egira mu mbeera ey'okuba nti no ali mu kusoomozebwa kuno kwonna kwalimu kati kwegamba n'alaba nga ye ku katego kaalimu essaawa eno ku katubagiro kaalimu essaawa eno ali mu ntaana